be reopened should be then brought, and opened and allow for employment to take place. There has been a lot of conversation around this issue of illegal mining for a long time, and this community says enough is enough. They've had enough of talking, they've had enough of relying on authorities to do what's right, and they will take matters into their own hands.
Protect us. We are not protected. We are sick and tired about the illegal miners who mine without permit, known as called Zama Zama. We are sick and tired about them. We are here. Okay, we are staying in informal settlement where we wonder there is a lot of crimes. There are so many women who raped by the Zama Zama.
To come up with a decision and right is what we want a way forward. For now, I'm gonna strike for tomorrow. People have to go to work. As young, I'm 17, everybody. People, we have to know we have lost so much. And man, if you see a embassy continue on a strike, the country is going to fall down. And it's
how much time are you giving police to respond to your demand?
Okay, a 10 days notice. Well, now what are they going to do with going forward? Court, but so after that, from 10 after the way forward, for now it's strike is we want to go back to work. I-campaign may unnecessary because we are clean up look for nezinto zabantu, vandalize nama-properties wabantu, which is we agreed on a peaceful strike. And as our communities we are doing into a wrong which we did not agree upon. So it's strike is your pain.
Most important fact is that we gotta be strong, we gotta be considerate of our lives, because most of the people aren't considerate of that. Now, each and every day, we scared at 6 o'clock at evening, at 5 o'clock in the evening, our community members can't walk. So now we say, from 3 o'clock in the morning, since we've been here, the police just came now and they're busy shooting at us. Because this thing, it was supposed to be their job, but they can't do their job. They're waiting for us to do their job. What's the use of us having a police station where else we're not doing anything? Because we are the people, the Mahali City Parliament and the residents of the whole Kagiso. They're here fighting for this. And there's no looting, there's nothing wrong. We're just doing what is right. Protecting, closing all the shops out of here.
These people, they mustn't come and make us fools here, they mustn't rape our girlfriends here. When you are sleeping, they are entering, they are stealing your TV. Why they must do that? We will let them, they were busy doing this thing of them. So we didn't have any problem. But when they are coming from here, they are going to our houses. They are going to break, rape us, take money. When you come from the leper's place, you can't come within the road. We're gonna see them, they will rob you. Last time they did rob me, I was from labor law. So when I got, they did rob me. For what, I don't know. And when I tell them, I don't have anything, they said they don't care, they are gonna rule this country because they are from this family so too.
So would you say, for women specifically, that area was a good area to grow up in?
It was a great place to grow up.
Yeah.
Everyone raised everyone.
Okay.
It was safe. It was, your grandmother will call you with a big plate of sandwiches, and everyone eat together, drink together, play together, go to school together. It's not safe today.
Passionate about their issues here around the illegal miners that have been operating for quite a long time. As they said that they've left them alone when they were operating in these abandoned mine dumps. The issue has begun when they began coming into the communities and terrorizing this community here. We've heard many accounts of the rape from women that have lived in this area and experienced this from families that have said that they've been robbed, as well as a lady that told us that her child was murdered here as well, and there's been no justice been given. But I want to bring in other community members. As a woman, living in this community, how do you feel? How safe do you feel?
I feel so unsafe. I fear for my life every day.
And what I like the policemen to do right now is to assist us with sniffer dogs, because now we're searching for these people. Let them bring sniffer dogs, because what we're doing now, we don't know where they are. But the sniffer dogs, they're very brilliant. Yeah, let them bring sniffer dogs and then they will find these people.
We've heard from the National Police Commissioner, the Deputy National Police Commissioner who was here, as well as the Provincial Commissioner who was also here earlier today to address this community, giving an assurance that there will be boots on the ground. We've seen them bring their top brass as well as many teams.
Would you say you would allow your daughter to go out and enjoy sandwiches with the people around the neighborhoods now?
Never in a million years.
Why?
It's not safe. There's no order. We used to have a group of people there, all the people that set the rules. If one mother said you're in by 6, everyone is in by 6. It's absolutely chaos today. No one is working together, no one is raising kids together. And I think the problem there is we don't all believe in the same legacy. We don't all fight for the same things. And that's all difference between now and then is there was a set of rules to keep you safe, then there's no rules anymore.
Minister, akwetse handle le masole ke ka mo letsa ka teng ka COVID na kwene o te skara tsa mari akwa bitsa ngwana masole ano. Now people are dying, but now listen to tshwere batho ba if we tell Antonia Nanyana or to Mama Nkole from South Africa, that's a problem. But I can't say 15-20. But here's the thing: Mama will play the mood. But out at the following day,
now coming to a situation where a woman decided, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy who I am. Like I'm gonna show off my body. I'm gonna show off my talent. I'm hoping the world will accept me and love me, and maybe my career will kickstart. And these women head to a mine site, like without the thoughts of thinking that anything will happen, and they get raped, gang raped. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's the worst thing that could have happened to the Westrand. I think if anyone was planning to move to the Westrand to start a business, everything is gone now. It's the worst thing that could have happened there. And from a mother, if it was my daughter, I would blown up the whole place there. Yeah. So as a lady, I think we should just keep in mind what is classy and what is sexy.
Yes.
And to move in groups, look out for your sisters, your friends, look out for, and it's not just girls, boys are not safe as well. I think I used to tell people, I will raise a queen if you'll raise a gentleman.
Yeah.
So move in groups. If you see something funny, don't go to the bathroom alone. Always put on your live location, send to someone. Take control of your own safety, each their own at the end of the day.
On stage, they know. Has incident, hardly no incident. It started back in 2017. Now, because we did it ourselves, that's when they want to come to us and say, they should be joining us for the marching, convening a caucus, come marching, not here. At this moment in time, Batari are being raped, they are being kidnapped, each and every day.
The phenomenon of Zama Zamas has been around for quite some time. It started when the mine companies leave mining, going back to overseas. And then the problem was that they didn't rehabilitate the mines. They left them open. And then there are people who saw an opportunity to mine in those unused mines, and then they started coming to South Africa to do those small-scale mining, and those people were called or are called the Zama Zamas. But there is also a theory that there are people who saw an opportunity. I'm talking about rich people. I'm also talking about business people and political leaders who saw an opportunity in those small mining scale, and then they took young kids from very poor areas, especially Zimbabwe, Lesotho, and other African areas, and then they brought them here to mine. And after they've mined, they'll take those resources to them, and they already have a market, and then they'll go and sell it to those markets. So I think over the years, the number of Zama Zamas grew, and the government was well aware. And Westrand is one of the mining areas. So they also swell the area in Troniport, Kagiso, Randfontein, even in Krugersdorp. But now the challenge with these miners is that they would fight over those minerals. Their bosses, to protect themselves, their bosses gave them arms so that they can fight those who come and want to take the minerals after they've dig them underground. So that means now they are well armed. So it became their life that they mine, take the minerals out and give it to their bosses. The problem started when now they started terrorizing our communities. It's been a while that they've been doing that. West Village residents have been complaining about this phenomenon. They've went to the police station, they've demonstrated, but most unfortunately our police didn't respond accordingly. There's also another theory why they didn't respond. The theory goes like it's because there are powerful people behind this.
Useless police station. Imali ibanjwa inkunzi bela let's go. Wethiza ngande yonto le. Sibize amaphoyisa eThepiso. Sithi thina nawo Zama Zama. Nayi imibhodi nayi machine. I went there personally no councillor 2 men. So identify all those machines that are castrating the electricity, our infrastructure. That system electricity. Let's into a matriface. They are not meant to be in our area, Kuma residential area. We expose our life in danger, but yet today, he has never done any initiative to make sure that he come and support us. He's extra useless. I want to say that he's extra useless. Even if I will die tomorrow, because I know we're targeted, and it is true what my community and my fellow colleagues said, to say I'm a vele escorter, I'm a Zama Zama. I'm an eyewitness. I was part in those operations, without even police. And then another point that I have, just a moment. Nyafuna baba. It's my time today with Tony. That's why the state is getting something out of it. Collapse. You are saying nothing. There's a lot of traffic at Sen. You are saying nothing about people. If you have a blue lights in it's our tax money. It's our tax money. See, for everything. I need more resources. Open within your strength. I need more resources. On the 31st of December, yes, Kati, national disaster. COVID. You make sure that each and every street there's a van that is closing all the areas. You are saying today you don't have resources. You don't have baba. Mabupele, come on board. Siakfuna baba. Please.
So a word has been sent to the police to protect them. not to take them to custody. The unfortunate part, the police were doing this whilst these Zama Zamas were terrorizing our communities. They were raping our women. They were killing husbands, even women. In one area here in Kagiso, the story goes that these Zama Zamas also took over the spaza shops of the locals. When you are a Sotho-speaking person, you were protected because most of these Zama Zamas are Sotho-speaking people. So people basically live in terror. And the police were well aware, the government was well aware, but they did absolutely nothing. It was until those 8 women were raped in Westville that now the police and the government showed action. Though residents felt that the action that they took was not enough, but at least there was some form of action that the government and the police showed. It actually angered the West Village residents that the police only acted after those 8 innocent women were raped. What angered the West Village residents was that those young women do not reside at the West Village. They reside elsewhere. They were there to do a shoot. And there's a woman who appeared on TV saying that she was raped by 20 guys, 20 Zama Zamas. And that didn't move the police to act. And now they are acting. So basically, West Village residents were not happy at all.
Some members the first thing was safety. Like we don't have any casualties amongst the community members, and we want to keep the status quo. So people safety, in no time. They will select 5 from the test team. Rona will keep Bahul.
If the head is dysfunctional, the whole carriage is going to derail. The police station is fucked up because the head is fucked up. You cannot say anything about it. We had a police station was at why can't we be provided the antenna? Satellite police station go 2 and 3. 2 and 3 there's extension for every one. There's road of Zama Zama. We live in here, but Robert 2 and 3. Those people operate freely. That's what happened about the ESCOM. Where community came to us and give us photos that but that ESCOM will give but then another cable there. We are not getting help. We are reporting these issues. We are not getting help anyway. At the end of the day, the transformers they are blasting our own community back to the government as we speak because the transformers is blasting.
Into a bit of trouble here. It seems there are some individuals that are inside here and they're trying to get them to come out of this particular hole. Now let's center once again. They're saying, is there someone inside there?
There's someone people inside here. They don't want to come out.
Paolo, today we have demonstrated that the power is within you as community members. For now, Mapolisa are going toe to toe, bullet to bullet. But have AK-47 pushing 23. We're still going there. But so we want so for now, it's the work of the police. We don't gather somewhere here on the ground. You'll get the report back to say what is actually happening. The other commitment that we want to make in front of the police. We don't want to waste any more time. We are saying, but one about us still, but all communication and when to the shop they receive. We want to make sure that today, community there is police visibility, but police are any life.
So that actually served as a catalyst for Westrand residents to stand up and demonstrated against that. It started here in Kagiso. They went to Shaft and apprehended some of the Zama Zama people. The one thing that I've observed, the police were actually preventing the residents from catching others, which was very strange. It is the job of the police to protect the residents and to apprehend those who are here illegally. But the police were acting on the opposite, which to me sends a message that the police, they are actually protecting the Zama Zamas. Then after the Kagiso march, it spilled over to Manseville. Then a day later, it spilled over to Mohlake, showing that the residents are fed up. They've had enough of these Zama Zamas. And then later, the the Premier of Gauteng came to Kagiso together with the police minister. They made promises which were never kept. A few days later, Zama Zamas were back. But here's my view. I don't think the government is doing what it's supposed to be doing. The government's job is to protect its citizens. But in this case, it is protecting illegal immigrants who are terrorizing our communities, which is wrong. It also shows that the government is failing our people. And I also think that the residents, not only in the Westrand, throughout where there are Zama Zamas, they should remain vigilant. They shouldn't totally rely on the police. Yes, I agree they should work with the police. They shouldn't take the law into their own hands. But the failure of the police warrant them that they should stay vigilant. Whenever they see that the Zama Zamas are starting again, they need to stand up. Otherwise, they'll wait forever. Otherwise, they'll die. Our women will continue to be raped, which is something that is not ideal. So in other words, that we as citizens need to stand up, not only in the area of security, but even in other areas. Unemployment is high, higher education is inaccessible. That means we as communities, we need to work together in order to take our country forward. We can no longer afford to rely on politicians to take our country forward. They have failed us. They continue to fail us. So now that means the ball is in our court. Thank you.
All the reasons to be in the position that you are in. But the assurance that we are bringing today, our forces are on the ground. That's why Kiona and the leader of the community did come to address. the officers were focusing on other areas trying to assist and arrest the situation. It is unfortunate that happened on the other side, on the offside of the police. And I must say, we are working in partnership. That is why you see all the forces coming together. And when we mobilize as a police, we mobilize even the private security companies to come and assist. So the operations that we are seeing is because we are working in collaboration with other role players and other stakeholders. And that is what we are emphasizing all the time. That is what we are also pleading to the communities, that where we can, the CPFs are around, there are many other organizations that we are working with within the communities to make sure that where we cannot reach, we are having that force multiplier to come and be the extended hand of the police.
So what I really think about what happened to those girls with the whole Zama Zama gang rape is that it's very scary. You know, as a woman, you don't really feel safe. And I'm also a musician, so we do sometimes, you know, make shoots and we do use, you know, locations. And it could have been me shooting a music video, doing a photo shoot. And it's very scary to even go for a jog without feeling some sort of anxiety deep down in my chest, that heartburn deep down, you know. And yeah, that experience on its own, I mean, must be horrible for those women.
We still see women being raped. It's such a traumatic experience for one to go through. Number one, it takes away your inner person. It kills you from the inside, and to a point where you question yourself, you know, you question your existence, you question why me. And not only that, I think with me, not only did these men leave me in a prison of fear of the unknown, in prison of why me, but they've also taken so much from me, because as a result I cannot give birth naturally. I think every time I visit a gynecologist, every time I need to go for a checkup, I need to remember how I got here, what happened to me, you know. And it was such a traumatic, emotionally draining experience for me when I now wanted to have children, because each day was a reminder of what was taken away from me. Each day was a reminder of women are not safe out there. Each day was a reminder that my government has failed me. The justice of South Africa has failed a lot of women. And when you get raped, right? Let's say we're living in a perfect world. In a perfect world, when you get raped, the perpetrator goes to jail. And when they are in jail, they get to eat breakfast, lunch, and supper. And some of them, for good behavior, or for trying to prove that they've actually changed, they get parole. Some of them, they even go to school in prison, right? Now, you as a victim, you go into a prison of depression, prison of fear, prison of what does tomorrow hold for me? And the government plays a little role in the victim's healing process. Most of the time you need to find your social worker or a psychologist or a support system that's gonna work for you. You're still trapped in this jail, right? So there's two jails. There's the emotional jail that the victim goes into, then there's a physical jail that the perpetrator goes into. The difference is with the perpetrator, they standing a good chance of becoming better men, maybe if they're willing to change while they are in prison. But for the victim, this is something that you gonna live with for the rest of your life. It's something that cannot be undone, and it's an emotional journey. There are days where you feel like I'm okay, and then there are days where you hate yourself, where you hate your own body, where you question, why did I even become a woman? And there's times where you wish you can just be a man and hate all the men that have caused you so much pain. And I was still narrating about prisons. Now you go to this prison of the trauma that this person has put you through. Now for me, it went as far as now I'm still serving the sentence of something that I did not bring upon myself. Because to date, I cannot have children naturally. And I'm raising a daughter, and for me, I think with everything that I've been through, I think whenever I talk about my daughter, her safety, the fear of, is she safe? I remember there was a time where I couldn't even allow her to play where I can't see her, because I would worry that someone would hurt her when I'm not watching. Now, I'm stuck in this prison of fear, which is something that I can't take away. I cannot wake up one day and say, I'm not worried about my daughter. I'm not worried who's gonna hurt her when I'm not watching. And I look at her and I see so much of myself in her, because she thinks she's a Mbogoto. And I was saying to somebody, I'm not trying to raise a Mbogoto. I want her to be vulnerable, because when you try and be strong, you suffer in silence. That's what I went through. And for the fact that I could not talk to anybody, I pretended as if I was okay. It killed me inside, but I was not aware. It's like cancer. It eats you up inside until one day you wake up and you realize, I'm a mess, I'm in pain, I'm hurting, and I have no one to help me. So my fear is not knowing how safe she is. And being a sexual abuse survivor, not only does it affect your mindset, your emotions, it also affects relations. It's different with people, right? With me, because it happened so many times, sex for me was attached to pain. It was attached to violence. So I could not relate to, let's make love, let's be gentle, let's cuddle, let's, hold hands, let's talk. The love language for me was rough me up, get what you want, that's all I know, that's what I know you want. Just take it. If anything, just don't ask, just take it. Because every man that has ever raped me, they just took, and I got addicted to them just taking. And psychologically, you start imagining these things. And when I started imagining the kind of husband that I wanted for myself, the first thing that was on the top of my list was, if he doesn't hurt me, then it's not the man for me. What's sad is that so many cases are reported, but they never materialize, because the justice system that are also failing women, because they're gonna ask you stupid, I call them stupid questions, and as a victim, at some point you feel like, what's the point? That's why we find so many cases are not reported, because it's like, what is the point? And in a case where they've been reported and this person goes to jail within months, maybe years, you're gonna see them roaming on the streets again. Now, not only do you have now your memory reminding you of what happened to you, now you've got this person that's always on your face, and every time you see them, you need to remember what they had done to you. So this takes us back to what happened to the 8 women that were raped in the Westrand while they were trying to shoot a music video. I can imagine this. I can literally hear them scream in my head. You know, it's once you've been raped, the eyes of the perpetrator, their face, especially the eyes, you never forget. They are piercing eyes into your soul. So I could imagine, because they were gang raped, they need to deal with those eyes that pierced into their souls for the rest of their lives. And unfortunately, not all women find their healing. Some, they completely lose themselves to a point of no return. Some commit suicide, and some just give up on life. Only a few find a way to fight, to find their strength and to fetch their lives again. We're living in times where being a woman is not safe. When I wake up, before I can even think of what kind of makeup or what kind of clothes I want to wear, I need to start asking myself, am I safe where I'm going? Is there security? Will there be men? Are those men safe? Are those men safe for me to be around? You're always questioning your safety. So I refuse to let any man, anyone else, ever hurt me the same way that those men